Hey guys, we are here at day 5, which is 8 days ago I started messing around with Empower Network, and it's real early. It's like 6 something in the morning. I just woke up and just wanted to kind of state what I plan to do this day, and then we'll see what happens. I'll shoot the rest of this video later on today. So I plan to finish Costa Rica lesson 6 as well as lessons 7 and 8. I want to get fully caught up and be all the way up to speed with those. I also plan to do some personal development while I do hang some more Christmas lights outside. And that's really my plan at this point. I don't know what else will happen besides also doing my daily blog post, the one I did yesterday. So besides those 5, who knows what else I'll fit in there, but that's my intention at this point in the day, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. We'll see how I did. Hey guys, I am back. This is day 8, video 5 in the Empower Network case study, and I know I shot a video this morning kind of outlining what I thought was going to happen today. What really happened was actually pretty close to my intention, slightly different from what I had planned, but I also did some extra things that I hadn't planned. So I actually have chills all over right now because I was just imagining saying the words to you guys that this was one of the most productive days I've had in months and months and months. And I got the chills even before I said those words, just thinking about it, because it just feels so good to have an amazingly productive day like today. So what I did get done was video 6 and 7 in Costa Rica, and it's around like 8 or 9 o'clock tonight. I'm probably gonna go up and start lesson 8. I don't know if I'll complete it tonight. I'll just see how my energy's doing. I'm gonna go do it up in my room with my wife, like right on the laptop up there. I've been taking tons of notes on everything. I have a whole, I don't know if you know what Evernote is. It's an awesome online way to track all your stuff, your notes and things. And so anyway, I'll stay on track with what I did today. So I did that. I did go hang Christmas lights, and I did do personal development during that. I also found my new most favorite Inner Circle audio. So now I have a collection of 2 Inner Circle audios that I love. And the one audio I actually got while listening to the Empower Network compensation plan being explained, which was over an hour long. And I got that idea because I talked to you guys yesterday or the day before, and I told you how one of my actually 8-figure earner in this industry was my mentor, even one-on-one for several different occasions. But he, we had joined a company, and he said, I'll never ask you guys to do anything I wouldn't do myself. And here's the compensation plan. I recommend you guys go through this 3 times, at least 3 times, 3 different days in a row. Do it once per day. So that popped in my head today because I just told you guys, like, yeah, here's this great idea. So I'm sitting there today, I'm like, okay, why don't I go model what someone who's made over 10 million in the industry has done, and I'll just model what they do. And so I went through the compensation, and just a total, I don't even know how I got to that page today. It was just a random, spur of the moment thing, and I did it. And I saw the videos like 1 hour and 5 minutes, something, just over an hour long, and I was like, hey, if people that have made over 10 million in the industry are doing this stuff, I'm gonna go do this for the next, my plan at this point is today, and then the next 2 days in a row, go through the compensation plan. And so I did that today. I did the extra personal development. What's kind of funny, one of the personal development things that I went through when I was hanging Christmas lights today was from that very same person that I was just referring to that's made, well over 10 million at this point. I think he right now is making somewhere around 140 to probably approaching 200,000 per month right now in his company. So anyway, obviously he knows what he's talking about. I have a belief right now in Empower Network and my ability to very consistently hit $1,000 a day, bigger than I've ever had in my life. And for those of you that know me, I have a very large team in another company, over 18,000 members in this, you know, that's just on my first 5 levels, and I can't see lower than the 5th level. So realistically, it's probably a team of 25, 30,000 or more that we've built over there. With all that said, I've still never consistently made $1,000 a day in my entire 6.5 years in this industry. And my belief level, knowing I can do that in the very near future, once again, I have chills all over my body. It's really amazing, and all this has just happened in the last 8 days. All the momentum and all the magical things happening. Another thing, so you know, we've got into Thanksgiving 2 days ago, and then my family, we actually did almost like another Thanksgiving yesterday because we had so much leftover food, all the family came over again. So I basically lost 2 days of, you know, momentum is one way to look at it. Or another way to look at it is that I was blessed enough to do nothing at all for 2 days and have enough faith in myself that I could pick it back up today and tear it up and literally have one of the most productive days I've had in probably of 2012. One of the most of this entire year. So that's really awesome. So with, you know, all the things that have been happening, you know, the holidays here in the US, and my belief level growing even through that is really cool. With those days off, you know, somewhere, I think it was right on Thanksgiving or the day before, it's starting to blur a little bit, all the days here, but somewhere in there, I basically made $150 over a 20-hour period. And, you know, I told you guys how I commented on some blog post David Wood, and he wrote back and just said, just imagine that happening. The better you get at imagining it and seeing it happen, the more you trigger that in your subconscious mind, you know, by thinking of it through your conscious, that the more it's going to start to happen. The more you can make that happen, the faster your income's going to grow, and pretty soon everything starts to snowball. And so a day or two went by there, and I was like, a few times thoughts enter my mind. I was like, man, I have it under commission. God, there goes my $150 or 20 hours. You know, like beating myself up, my internal thoughts. And just somewhere, so while I'm out doing personal development today, one of the Inner Circle audios, my new favorite one, was really talking about, you know, your inner talk and how you really have everything inside of you to create anything. And it gave multiple examples of people in Empower Network right now making $5,000, $10,000, $30,000 a month and beyond, that literally started Empower Network with no list at all. I'm sitting here at the list of around 20,000 people with a large team already built and lots of influence already built up. And I'm looking at that and like, well, if they're doing that, why can't I do that in much shorter than 3 months, 6 months, 8 months, 10 months like some of them took? And so I'm also realizing, this is all while hanging Christmas lights, that how much my internal thoughts have really been low quality compared to my personal standard that I've set over these last few years. So for the last several months, I haven't plugged in as much personal development. I haven't worked out as much as I normally do. And those two kind of go together for me because I do my personal development while I work out typically, or while I hang Christmas lights, or just a few other activities, but it's really got lower in the last 3 months overall. And so compared to the average person standards, I still do way more personal development than them. But compared to my standards I've set for myself, minimum 1 or 2 hours a day, bare minimum, I've been greatly lacking on that for the last couple months. So that's something else that hit me today. Part of why I'm so charged up over these last 8 days, because I've been doing Costa Rica lessons every single day, more or less, you know, a couple days where I doubled up. I've been doing Inner Circle audios almost every single day. I'm re-engaging in my income producing activities, in my, you know, my mental activities to keep my psychology good and positive and you know, strong, knowing I can literally accomplish anything in the world. So just realizing that today, this is great. This is a very positive, you know, activity or discipline, a daily discipline that I need to continue to really, you know, it just made me think of, it was almost 2 years ago where I was at one of Tony Robbins' seminars that just rocked my world. It was in November of 2010. And an even bigger one in December of 2010. And I remember coming out of that month of the craziest momentum I've ever had in my life and saying, you know, vowing to myself, I'm never gonna not do personal development again. And obviously, there's, you know, your growth always, even though your growth, you know, like a good stock, you want it to always be going like this, it's not always a flat line. You'll do massive growth and then it'll kind of flatten out. And then you'll even drop down a little bit and you're like, oh, maybe start beating yourself up. But you have to realize real growth actually comes in patterns like that. Sometimes they're huge jumps, but you always come back down. But overall, you want to always be going upwards. You don't want to be going like this, like a sine wave or cosine wave. You want to be over time going up and up and up. So I'm living proof. You know, the last few months were maybe losing a little bit. I wasn't doing as much personal development. But, so here's the magical thing. I know I talk all over the place. My stories are all random. So I'm outside doing all this personal development, having all these, you know, epiphanies of my life and beating myself up in some ways, other ways saying, hey, it's okay, don't beat yourself up. You know, at least you realize what's happening, now you can do something about it. All this stuff's happening to me. I'm doing Christmas lights. I walk inside and I don't even know what I was doing upstairs. I think I was helping with dinner with the kids. And I come in to my computer. Oh, so my wife looked kind of tired. I'm like, hey babe, you want to go take a bath tonight? She's all, yeah, that sounds perfect. And so I said, let me go check my email real quick and I'll come right back up. And I have to say this, I promise I won't be gone long, because I have the habit of like coming down, I just get lost for like a few hours, and then I'll go back up and like it's time to put the kids to bed, no bath. You know, she didn't get any alone time. So that was really my intention. I come down, check email, $500 commission from Empower Network. Now that for sure makes up for the last 48 hours or whatever, where I am totally averaging 150 bucks every 20 hours. It's probably more than that. So it's basically a total of $650 that have all happened within these last 8 days. And I think it actually all happened within the last 3 or 4 days from right now. I don't know what that turns out to be. I don't even care about the math and all the numbers at this point. I will do some analyzing with you guys, and we're gonna look at all that. I'm gonna show you proof that all this, you know, I'm not just making this garbage up about, oh, I made a $500 commissions here, 100 bucks here. I'm gonna show you guys all that stuff. We're gonna look at days they came in and everything. We're gonna look at my traffic in analytics and watch, wow, you started doing videos and blogging, you know, 4 days ago, whatever, and now look at what's happened over time. And I've already seen a small spike in it. It's crazy. But $500 commission. Amen. Totally amazing. Totally psyched for that. So that's really everything, guys. I know this video is kind of dragging on, so that's really what's happened today. Amazing day. I loved it. I'm gonna go upstairs, spend some time with my wife. I don't know how much of the 8 Costa Rica lesson I'm gonna get done. I do have an intention right now that within the next 48 hours, the next 2 days, to be completely done with Costa Rica. There's 11 lessons. I have 8, 9, 10, and 11 left. So I'm gonna double up for the next 2 days at least. Maybe I'll go crazy and do it all tomorrow. So, without further ado, hope you guys go and tear it up. I'm totally more excited than ever about Empower Network. I'm already starting to plan out how I'm gonna promote this to my list and do a real launch. Not just a single little video, say, hey, check out this company I'm not quite too sure about, like I did a year ago. So really getting excited about this, really excited about, you know, what's gonna happen when I actually put some effort into this. So, we will see you guys tomorrow or very, very soon to your ultimate success, and God bless, guys.